I would like to introduce myself, Rashmi, and I will be leading this series for you. And we have two expertise from both of the world. Rahul Agarwal, who is Director for Digital Transformation and also heads BPM and Process Mining. Then we have Ankur Patel from Celonis, who leads Ecosystem Value Team at Celonis, which is responsible to deliver driving value, ROI, and ultimate success for Celonis partner, including TechM. He also worked with Brain as a consultant. So two great minds coming together, and we are kicking off this series with interesting part, which is applying execution management for rapid transformation. In today's world, we know how important it is for the rapid transformation. So let's take a view of two experts over here. Rahul, what does it take to execute a large scale and lasting transformation?
Thanks, Ashmi, for the introduction. I'm equally excited to share my thoughts and my views around how the education management is helping to drive some of the accelerated transformation initiatives. So, what does it take to execute large-scale transformation? Remember, the couple of things which are key ingredients to drive the lasting transformation. One is requiring right mix of technology, process, and people. Empowering team to drive transformation rather than a people or a group of people driving in silos. While the small POC or the proof of concept or the pilot can be driven by a single team, but we want to drive the culture of transformation and change, it needs support of everyone, the entire multifunctional or the cross-functional team to be involved in terms of driving it. Lots of focus on driving the work culture where teams are not afraid of taking risk, because lots of projects require change management culture. Lots of projects require a lot of investment in terms of commercial, financial, time, and efforts. People should be ready to take those risks. Promote learning and growth, right? And incentivize the teams that can drive value. The rewards and recognition program are actually helping to drive lots of value. Finally, it's about taking actions to enact change, right, within your process, and then also monitoring how is the compliance, how is the conformance is being driven. All these, when combined together and when put in an entire value chain or a journey, can actually help not only to drive but to sustain the large scale lasting transformation.
That's great, Raul. So, it means that if we kick off, it will be a long lasting, but at the same time, rapid and agile. Now, let's take some view from Ankur that what are the risks you think that any customer should be aware of? And how does, this best combination which is coming in the market, Solonis and Techem, provide the solution to such a concern that customers having? Because we as a customer want an awareness nowadays, 360 degree. So over to you, Ankur. What's your view?
Sure, and great to be here with you both today, Rashmi and Rahul. Thank you for the question. So, what are the risks, right, that any customer should be aware of going into large-scale enterprise transformations?
Right.
All enterprises, large and small, run their core processes and operations through, a very complex mix of hundreds, sometimes even thousands of individual source systems. It's a very rigid, fragmented system landscape that traps execution capacity, hampering your overall business performance. And we've seen this time and time again at, the thousands of customers that Celonis is working with. So to eliminate execution gaps and maximize your execution capacity, you need to, you need a different kind of system, one that liberates your business from these artificial constraints. And that's where, the Celonis technology comes into play. We offer an execution management system which measures your execution capacity and identifies these execution gaps. So with groundbreaking visualizations, Celonis shows you in minutes the transparency in your process that you have always demanded and that would otherwise take, weeks, if not months to really get to. So we often see these transformation projects are executed in silos, as Rahul mentioned. Someone's driving the IT system change while someone else is driving automation and so on. The starting point of any transformation project or initiative is to understand the current as-is state of the process. While it is
Mm.
done before starting any project, it's primarily very rudimentary, depending upon the subject matter expert's expertise rather than being data-driven. With operations being executed across different systems, getting the proper visibility of the process is almost invisible. Using Celonis process mining, however, we can get 100% of that visibility into the processes across multiple source systems. This ensures that we can prioritize data-driven decisions before starting any project, and data quality issues are also taken care of. When the start is smooth and the path is clear, reaching the end milestones within the timeline becomes that much easier.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I'm sure customers over there are really interesting to know that now there's transparency, crystal clear transparency. Raul, you want to put some example over here from the customer because you guys have done the projects together.
For sure. So a very good example from one of the client who is in distribution and logistics based out of US.
Mm-hmm.
Client was driving lots of robotic process automation initiative, leveraging multiple platforms to drive automation, etc. While one team was busy in terms of discovering and identifying the use cases for RPA, the other team was actually involved in terms of driving or deploying or implementing those automations. Typical
Okay.
challenges: the bot idle time, there were no effective bots, not right ROI on those automations. And again, with the lots of legacy systems in place, there was an issue in terms of finding a right measure of success or the ROI on those use cases.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we brought in Celonis execution management system. The system
Mm-hmm.
not only helped in terms of analyzing the process for roughly 100 plus applications, but also share recommendations on the process violations, discovered the RPA use cases, integrated with the automation bots to monitor them effectively on a real-time basis, and help in terms of reduction in the bot failure rate. So what are the success? One, reduction in the overall cycle time of the entire process. Second,
Mm-hmm.
reduction in the bot failure rate by roughly 20 to 25%. And again,
Mm-hmm.
improvement in the entire SLA. So you can see how the process people, technology people, and the transformation people come up together to leverage process mining or an execution management system as a common platform to make the transformation journey more and more fruitful.
Great. That's really great to learn that we have so much, to deliver for our customers, especially in these days where customers really want a cash in hand transformation and the next gen services activated for them. Now, one tough question, Uncle, coming to your to your plate. I hope that you are ready. Now we know that monopoly days are gone. When you are like, when you are one in a market and you can sell any product to the customer, right? So one key thing that I'm really interested to know, and I'm believe audience also over there interesting to know, that's how different end-to-end application execution management with Celonis and Techem partnership, offers that is different or differentiator what we have already in the market.
Yeah, that's a great question, right? And one that we commonly get because as you mentioned, it's a, rapidly growing market. There are, competitors smaller than Solonis and organizations that we didn't consider competitors. So what really is the differentiator? Um, and then so look, transformation can be defined as transforming, optimizing process, system, et cetera, to drive business outcomes. But if the
Okay.
transformation doesn't deliver the business outcomes like cost reduction, 100% compliance, et cetera, it doesn't add tangible value and might deter us from taking on future projects. So, starting an organization wide technology transformation is very complex if the underlying processes aren't fixed, and it won't add value then. So, add to that, technology change projects are costly and time consuming. Before embarking upon any of these change projects, we should have clear visibility into existing processes and process gaps. And EMS offers the unique feature of first understanding your current process and the gaps in present methods using process mining, and then fixing those gaps to optimize the process. And then the key differentiator here really is the real time connections that we have, right? Which no other competitor has. So you can get live data that is being, developed or input into your source systems, SAP, Oracle, homegrown stuff. And then as inefficiencies are occurring, they are being removed from the process. So your processes are being improved live as you go. And so once the process has been selected, EMS offers these automation, machine learning capabilities to optimize the process using this real-time data to further reduce, human dependency, improving processing capacity, and reducing overall the cost of operations. EMS considers process optimization and automation slash machine learning as one continuous piece needed for constant transformation. So that even
Mm.
after process mining and optimizing the processes is done, if technology change is required, we'll have a clear blueprint of what the new systems should be supporting. It'll lead to a far smoother deployment of new systems in the future as well.
Wow. So if you have a data, then that means your fuel is ready. And these two guys coming with the expertise for the best car in the market, right? And defining your journey to give you the seamless drive. That's great, guys. Thanks for sharing this part. Now, Rahul, what about outcomes that we expect generally from the transformation project that we are going to deliver from Salonis and Tech in partnership?
Absolutely. When it comes to the outcomes, those are not necessarily only the recommendations or I can say the operating model being defined. It's actually the execution of all the possible bottlenecks, friction points, and the technology or the process changes that are coming out of
Mhm.
that execution management analysis, right? They are a financial outcome, they are non-financial outcomes as well. When I say financial outcomes, it could be like cost reduction, efficiency improvement, revenue improvement, compliance, higher customer satisfaction, etc. Because all of those financial outcomes will actually help in terms of giving a top line or the bottom line saving to the end client. Once the measurable financial outcomes have been defined, there are lots of non-measurable outcomes as well, like fixing the data quality, having a single source of truth, having a right system in place which can be looked into to improve the compliance, or having a right kind of performance measurement system in place. So the entire effectiveness and the efficiency of the execution can actually be driven with the help of this entire execution management system driven with the Celonis, right? Let me take one example of one of the client who is actually a large manufacturing client based out of US.
Mhm.
They are actually the manufacturer and distributor as well of the specialty chemicals and the plastics, right? Now, what we have done a multiple execution management project for that client in multiple areas like account payable, account receivable, order to cash, procure to pay, etc., and so on. Though the focus was more in terms of driving the tangible financial outcome, but they have a very basic and fundamental ask, that is, how can they have a right data in place which can be
Mhm.
leveraged or consumed by the people, by the operation people, by the sales people, by the end clients to help in terms of understanding how the process is performing. How can they have a single value of truth or single version of truth? How can they have a kind of performance measurement system in place for multiple processes? And at the same time, they were concerned as to how can they have an impact on the working capital or the efficiency or a kind of cycle time reduction. So if I talk about account payable, there are multiple use cases which have been identified which help in terms of reducing the early payment, or
Mm.
the use cases which have been identified which help in terms of capturing the overdue invoicing. So if payment was received late, it is actually having a direct impact on the entire account receivable process. That's where the impact has been identified, and in the account payable process only, there has been an impact of 4 million USD working capital impact, which have been identified. Similarly, in the order to cash process, the automation of the credit hold removal process for advance payment has been done. So manual credit removal process has already been eradicated and replaced by the automation of the process. A direct impact of more than 5 million working capital and the reduction in the cycle time. So we can easily see that while the working capital impact is making a kind of priority in terms of outcomes, there's an impact in terms of cycle time reduction and the customer experience as well, smoothing and simplifying the process of AP, AR, O2C, and so on. And that's what has been delivered as a part of that entire end-to-end process.
Wow, these great outcomes really excite me, and I'm really excited to can't wait to take all these solutions to my customer. Cash in hand, customer experience, NPS, and what else? Lead time. You're covering everything, guys. Really
Absolutely.
interesting. Right. So I'm sure, people over here or the customer over there, organization over there really will be in good to get this particular service in place. So, Anku, one question, because you are working, closely with different vendors, or say different partners. What do you think it makes best characteristics of high performing team, transformation team, and how you feel like the tech can ensure this, that they are the best transformation team within your, say, all the partners that you're taking care of.
Yeah, great question. So let me answer the first part first, right? So some of the characteristics of a high performing transformation team are, managing work and deadlines on priority, clearly defining roles, responsibilities, clearly defined overall goals of the entire transformation project, effective communication both internally and externally with your vendors, and just continuous learning that you can build upon amongst many other things. TechM specifically brings decades of experience in delivering the successful projects across the globe, right? And we've worked with them now on countless engagements using the Solonis technology, so we've seen that firsthand. We work with customers in a structured manner to drive transformation projects, bringing in our thought leadership, project management skills, and strong collaboration culture. Our teams are continuously working, both on our side as well as on the TechM side, to enhance the technical and personal skills, which adds value to any project that TechM is delivering. The goal is not to just be a service provider for TechM, but to be a partner for the customer where they can drive value in all that is happening and continuously driving the value over time. So that's what I've seen on the TechM side that really shows that they are ensuring that they provide the best in class transformation for all the customers that they are touching.
That's great. So it's good to learn, when your partners appraise you, I believe you guys can trust, over there, that you are in a right hand. So with Celonis and Chicken, I'm sure that people will feel safe, and they will feel like they're in a right hand when you guys are, praising each other. Really good to learn this. Now, last thing that I would like to know from you, and later Anku can also add on, if just as in closing comment, that what all features of execution management you think can drive the rapid transformation, and how TechM is adding value over there?
Very interesting question. So when it comes to execution management, like the way we just spoke, it's not only about mining analysis, it's about leveraging the entire transformation umbrella from analysis to the data injection to the process and the task mining board to having a visual and a daily management in place to having a simulation in place, which is simulating the process, leveraging the data to see what could be the good to go or the best in fit kind of process. And then leveraging the action flow or the automation or the low code BPM automations within the platform to drive some of those execution automation. And at the end, leveraging or integrating with the RPA for some kind of front office or some other kind of automation which can't be done via the action flow. And bringing in AI and ML as well to predict, to prescribe certain kind of actions and having a proactive check or a model in place which will help to fix the problem before it's occurring, right? Again, leveraging all the data which has been injected and the models which has been created in the platform. So you can see the entire transformation suite starting from injection to the mining to the RPA to the automation capability to the AI and ML capability are actually helping to drive this entire value chain of the transformation. Now, how TechM is adding value? Uh, as we spoke that the transformation project failed just because of two major reasons. One, we don't have a visibility to the process and we don't quantify the impact of the outcome or the benefit before the start of the project. Secondly, we are unable to quantify the baseline of the project. What is the baseline? What is the problem that you are solving? So you know the problem, but you don't know what is the kind of impact or what is the kind of quantum of that problem. By having access to this entire execution management transformation suite, we are actually baselining the process, quantifying the problem area, and then picking up whatever is right. Is this my right priority of problem? Is this my right use case? And while the use case or while the process or while the transformation getting deployed, we are having an ongoing monitoring and the continuous injection of the data to ensure that the measures or the goals which have been set up for the transformation are being able to met. So if I'm saying my X metric is going to improve from A to B and Y metric is going to improve from C to D, Having a right kind of compliance or the transformation engine in place, which will help to monitor those movement in KPI and also help to identify, call out, predict, and prescribe if any deviation is happening. TechM is bringing all that technical and functional capability, and at the same time, we are working with Celonis to develop and co-host multiple new solutions which are new to the market. If I take one example, one of the solution which is actually gaining lots of traction to the market is the front office contact center. So while front office is the channel of contact for the end user or customers, the availability of data to mine it and to automate it will actually help to increase the agent occupancy, reduce the effort and the cost, and ensuring the right kind of customer experience. Lots of platforms are there in the market to do it in a capability of BI, but getting into the process, deep dive into the process, leveraging analytics, and then helping to fix the occupancy or the CX part is something with TechM plus Salonis are doing it. So overall,
Yeah.
a kind of two in a one box kind of solution, driving not on, as I said, not only tangible but also non-tangible and kind of CX kind of transformations.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ankit.
I'll just echo and stress that as well, right? The technology that Solonis brings is unique, in all of what Rahul just mentioned. The real-time data, the task mining is very unique, right, compared to other vendors. But the fact that we can partner with TechM to create applications on top of the underlying technology, like the contact center, that's truly unique, right? And then with TechM specifically bringing the functional and technical expertise, it really differentiates or creates the perfect ingredients that can drive successful rapid transformation. So that really is, I think, in a nutshell, why the partnership works as effectively as it does, and as successfully as it does.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rahul and Uncle, for sharing your view on this. I'm really exciting to onboard EMS as a service with TechM and Celonis for my customers. And I hope that customers are also excited to onboard this services for rapid transformation as well as for long lasting, transformation. As we learn, security is in, intelligent automation, data process analysis, data analytics, everything at one place, and with the orchestration platform that is bringing over there, what else you need. So everything coming under one umbrella really excites me. I'm sure that over there customers are also excited to onboard EMS as a service for us. So thanks a lot, guys, for your time over there. For you, this series will going to continue. This is the first series. I'm your host for the series, and we're going to bring more interesting topic, specifically on technology and how we can remain, say, onboarded with the new technologies and exciting solution in the market. So we'll ensure that will drive your digital transfer, a digitally mature journey with new tools. Stay tuned. Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day ahead. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.